We resume proceedings with Bobby Taylor on the stand. Question: did you and Joe talk about the events of that evening? Answer: no, we was laughing crazy. Did Joe give you any indication that he knew who the shooters were? Answer: no, he didn't know nobody over there, really. He's not from my neighborhood. Question: Joe is not from your neighborhood? Answer: no. Question: he is a member of the blood set opposed to the Crips? Answer: yeah. Question: which gang? Answer: he's more of a blood in Compton. Question: when did you first see him that day? Answer: about 6 that evening. Question: what time did the shooting go down? Answer: about 9 something. Question: so he was with you for about 3 hours? Answer: yeah. Question: I want to take you back to the emergency room that you were in while you were waiting for your treatment. Police officers came in. How many police officers came in? Did you say that a man and a woman came in? Answer: yes. Question: and is your recollection of your conversation with these 2 police officers very clear today? Answer: no. Question: were you feeling the effects of the medication that was administered to you? Answer: yes. Question: and I guess it's difficult for you to maybe describe it, but can you give us your best description of how you felt at the time you were talking to these 2 police officers? Answer: just drowsy, real drowsy. Question: were you feeling any pain at that time? Answer: no, it was really hurting. It wasn't really hurting. Question: had they put a Band-Aid on the wound? Answer: yes. Question: did anyone mention to you anyone's name? The police officers, did they mention to you any names at that point in time? Answer: no. Question: did you mention any names to them? Answer: no. Question: did he show you any photographs at that point in time? Answer: no. Question: did you describe for them the incident that had just occurred? Answer: yes. Question: what else did you remember about your conversation with those 2 officers? Answer: they was just really asking me what kind of vehicle it was. They didn't really ask me no descriptions, really. Question: they must have asked you, though, the description of the shooter, or do you recall? Answer: I can't recall. Question: now, didn't you testify earlier that you said he had a light, it was a male or female? Answer: male. Question: that he had light complexion and had long curly hair, is that correct? Answer: yes. Question: now describe that for me. Did you tell that to the police at the time? Answer: I can't recall. Question: or did you tell that to the police after you got out of the hospital? Answer: I talked to them after the hospital too, about a month later. Question: wait, let's stay at the emergency room. Interview. Okay, for now. Then we'll get to the other interview. But the interview at the emergency room, do you recall giving a description of the person that you thought was the shooter? Answer: I just said that he was light-skinned and had a curl and had on a hat. Question: okay, you gave a description of the hat. Answer: it was a black hat. Question: was there any further description? How about the driver? Answer: dark skin, that's all. Question, did he have a hat on? Answer, no, I couldn't tell. The court, just 1 minute, please. Did you give a description of the driver? The witness, yes. The court, now as I understand it, there was a passenger who was the shooter. The witness, yes. Question by Mr. Yamamoto. And did you give a description of the third person in the vehicle? Answer, yes. Question, do you recall those descriptions you gave? Answer, the one in the back was dark skinned and didn't have a hat on though. Just the two in the front people had on hats. Question, do you recall giving a description of what the driver was wearing? Answer, no. Question, do you recall giving a description of what the black passenger was wearing? No. Question, after you left the hospital, when was the next time you spoke to police officers? Answer, when I was locked up in Laverne, California. Okay. Question, how long a period is that between the time you left the hospital until the time you were locked up that you spoke to the police? How many days? Answer, about a month. Question, a month later you spoke to a police officer? Answer, yes. Question, and what was the name of the police officer if you remember? Answer, Avenel. Question, Avenal? The court, is he the gentleman seated next to the district attorney? The witness, yes. Question by Mr. Yamamoto. And that was about 30 days after you were released from the hospital? Answer, yes. Question, now at that interview with Mr. Aspinall, did you mention any names? Answer, that's when he came to show me the pictures. Question, yes. Answer, yes. Question, what names did you mention? Answer, just Thumper. And is it your testimony today that you said Thumper because you and your homeboys had agreed to use that name? Answer, yes. Question, as the shooter? Answer, yes. Question, in reality, you really didn't know who shot you, did you? Answer, yes. Question, you do know? Answer, no. Question, you don't know? Answer, no, sir. Question, could that be one of the reasons why you haven't done any payback since then? Answer, yes. Question, now there's been some implications made that you're afraid to say something because you don't want to be labeled a snitch. Answer, I'm not afraid of nothing. Question, are you afraid of my client? Answer, nope. Question, you've been sentenced to state prison, is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, aren't you going to be afraid of any Crips in state prison? Answer, no. Question, I know that your testimony is that you don't know who shot you, but do you recall whether or not that person who shot at you appeared to be tall or a short person? Answer, a short. Question, now what brings you to that conclusion? Answer, the way he came up out of the passenger, like the way he rose up. Question, how did he rise up? Answer, like straight up, like he had his feet braced against the door or something. Question, can you give a little demonstration of that? Answer, yes, like he was like demonstrating and he came up like this and was just started shooting. The court, all right, the witness was leaning back in his chair and he had both hands extended and leaned forward in his chair. Question by Mr. Yamamoto. In other words, he was scooted down and he came up. Answer, yes. Question, where was the level of his head in relationship to the back of the seat before he rose up? Answer, it was like close to the driver. He was laying toward the driver. Question, leaning to his left? Answer, yes. Question, after you spoke to Officer Aspinall, this officer seated here with counsel, did you ever speak to any police officers thereafter? Answer, no. Question, so that was the last time you spoke to a police officer? Answer, yes. Question, did you speak to a police officer prior to testifying today? Answer, no. Question, you speak to anyone prior to testifying today? Answer, no. Question, are you telling the truth? Answer, yes. Question, there's one other thing that I did want to ask you, Mr. Taylor. It's about the photographs. You said something about you picked a photograph out of a photo lineup. Is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, you were shown how many pictures? Answer, 6. Question, and then you picked your first pick or your first try. What happened? Answer, he said, that's not the guy, and showed me another picture and said, look again. Question, that's when the officer said, answer, yes. Question, did you know who the shooter, did you know who you were looking for? Answer, nope. Question, did you just pick a picture? Answer, yep. Question, and the officer said that's not the one? Answer, yes. Question, so what did you do next? Answer, he showed me the picture and told me to sign my name by it. Answer, he showed you one picture? Answer, he pointed out to me the picture that he wanted me to pick. Question, and he had you sign the back of it? Answer, no. He had me sign something that shot me at quick and split. Mr. Yamamoto, no further questions. The court, redirect Miss Bushling. Miss Bushling, yes, thank you. Redirect examination by Miss Bushling. Question, Bobby, you indicated that when you were at the hospital, you got a shot a little bit after you came into the emergency room. Is that right? Answer, yes. Question, you said you felt drowsy. Is that right? Answer, yes. Question, is that before or after you and Joe King were laughing about the incident? Answer, before. I was there first. Question, so you got the shot before and then Joe came in and you two started laughing about what happened? Answer, he came in after, a little after I had talked to the police. Question, so Joe wasn't there when you talked to the police, was he? Answer, no. Question, and after Joe came in, you two were, what, talking about the fact you got shot? Answer, yes. Question, and were you laughing about it? Answer, yes. Question, you found that funny? Answer, the way it happened it was. Question, well, what part was funny? The part you got shot in the butt? Answer, no, the way they did it. Question, oh, coming out from underneath the sheet? Answer, yes. Question, you thought that was funny? Answer, yes. Question, Joe didn't tell you who he thought did it, did he? Answer, no, he didn't know. Question, and you're telling us you didn't know who did it? Answer, no. Question, but before that day when you were shot, before the time you were shot, you did know somebody named Thumper, is that right? Answer, yes. Question, and did you know what Thumper looked like? Answer, no. Question, you knew somebody named Thumper because Thumper was always getting into it with your homeboys? Answer, yes. Question, meaning what? Answer, arguing, throwing up their little signs. Question, Doing drive-bys? Answer, nope. Question, just throwing signs back and forth, arguing? Answer, yes. Question, and did you have any problems with Thumper before that date? Answer, no. Question, so it was just your homeboys? Answer, yep. Question, and you indicated that the territory around 91st and Central borders a lot of gangs. Is that right? Yes. And one of them is your gang? Answer, yes. And you said that was Family Swan? Answer, yes. What are they related at all to 89th Family Bloods? Yes. How are they related? Answer, they the same thing. Say Family Swan, some say neighborhood family. Question, neighborhood family or 89th Family Blood are the same as Family Swan? Answer, yes. Question, you also said that East Coast borders that territory also. Is that right? Answer, yes. Question, what East Coast are you talking about? Answer, 8-9. Question, 8-9 East Coast? Answer, yes. Question, what about 97th? Answer, no, that's a few blocks away. Question, 97th East Coast Crips get along with 8-9? Answer, 8-9 what? Question, 8-9 East Coast? Answer, yes. Question, so all the East Coast get along? Answer, yes. Question, but your homeboys were having trouble with Thumper? Answer, everybody around there. Question, and Thumper from 97 East Coast Crips? Yeah. Answer, yes. Question, is your gang enemies of 97th East Coast Crip? Answer, yes. Question, they are enemies of all East Coast Crips. Is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, but they were having particular problems with Thumper? Answer, 8-9, all of them. Question, well, my question, sir, is your homeboys were having trouble with Thumper, though? Question, just one homeboy. Question, one homeboy? Answer, yeah. Question, now you said that homeboy mentioned the name Thumper at the hospital. Answer, no. Question, is that correct? Answer, yes, somebody mentioned him. Question, you also indicated that sometime after you got out of the hospital, you and your homeboys decided to pin it on Thumper. Answer, yes. Question, and who were these homeboys that you got together with and decided to pin it on Thumper? Answer, it's a lot of them. Question, was Joe King involved? Answer, no, he's not from my neighborhood. Question, in fact, he's not a gang member, is he? Answer, yeah, he is. Question, what gang is he? Answer, Westside Pyru. Question, and do you hang out with him at all? Question, sometime. Question, okay. Do you hang out with him as a gang member? Answer, yep. Question, and this time, when you had this meeting, was Joe present? Answer, nope. Question, and how long after you got out of the hospital did you have this meeting to pin it on Thumper? Answer, it wasn't a meeting. Question, oh, you weren't at a meeting? Answer, it wasn't a meeting. The court, it was not a meeting? Question by Miss Bushling, I'm sorry, why don't you tell us what took place? Answer, that was a long time ago. I can't remember what actually took place. Question, well, do you remember what it was that you decided to pin it on Thumper? Answer, yeah, we was just getting drunk and started clowning, and I said let's put somebody in jail for a little while and let them sweat it out. Question, okay, who is we? Answer, me and my homeboys. Question, which homeboys in particular? Answer, it was a lot of them, a lot of them. Question, well, let's have some names. Answer, they ain't got nothing to do with this. Question, so you don't want to name names? Answer, no. Question, is that because this meeting never happened? Answer, it happened. Question, and you remember drinking beer, getting drunk, and deciding to pin it on Thumper, is that right? Answer, yes. And when, how long after you got out of the hospital did this happen? Like 2 days later? Question, 2 days? Answer, yes. Question, now you said you talked to Detective Aspinall about a month after the shooting, is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, and you were in custody? Answer, yes. Question, and he showed you some photographs? Answer, yes. Question, and was that the first time he talked to you about the shooting? Answer, yes. Question, did you talk to him on the streets about the shooting? Answer, nope. Question, you didn't see him on the streets in early January, January 4th? Answer, nope. Question, did you talk to Detective Aspinall on January 4th and tell him that you got shot at the Quick and Split? Answer, no. Question, do you remember dropping your pants in the street and showing him where you got shot? Answer, nope. Question, that never happened? Answer, nope. Question, so the first time Detective Aspinall spoke with you, you were already in custody? Answer, yes. Question, and I'm referring to talking to you about your shooting. You're getting shot. Answer, yes. Question, and you said that he showed you some photographs and that he picked out a photograph. Answer, yes. Question, and what did he say about that photograph? Answer, he said, that's Thumper. Question, well, I believe you indicated that he showed you a six-pack. Answer, yes. Question, meaning 6 photographs on a card. Answer, yes. Question, and I think you said that you picked some photograph. Answer, I picked at the six-pack. I picked the first one, then he corrected me. Question, so Detective Aspinall corrected you? Answer, yes. Question, and what did he say? Answer, he said he pointed to like at the top in the corner and said, this is Thumper right here. Question, he didn't just bring out one photograph and say, this is Thumper, sign it? No, he put it in a six-pack. Answer, yes. Question, definitely a six-pack? Answer, yes. Question, you remember signing a piece of paper? Answer, yes. Question, you remember signing a piece of paper that says Thumper is the one that shot me? Answer, yes. Question, and this was all a joke? Answer, yes. Question, and you never even knew who Thumper was? Answer, no. Question, now directing your attention to Eddie Walker at the table here. The one in the green shirt is the one you said was Thumper's picture in the six-pack, correct? Answer, yes. Question, and when you talked to the police at the hospital, you told them it was a green Lincoln Mark IV, is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, and you told them that the shooter had a jerry curl, is that right? Answer, yes. Question, you told them that the shooter wore a baseball cap. Answer, yes. Question, having seen Eddie Walker, as you said, for the first time when you came down to testify, you saw him in the elevator, is that right? Answer, yes. Question, did you recognize him? Answer, yes, from the photo. Question, that's it? Answer, yes. Question, do you know if Eddie Walker has any nicknames? Answer, Thumper. Question, you know it's Thumper? Answer, yes. Question, And how is it that you know that? Answer, one of my homeboys. Question, how is it that your homeboys told you Eddie Walker's name was Thumper? Answer, they grew up with him. Question, and when did your homeboys tell you that? Answer, when I was locked up, when I got the subpoena. Question, this was long after you talked to Detective Aspinall, is that right? Answer, yes. Question, the picture in the six-pack of Eddie Walker in the photograph, did you know that person's name? No. Question, so you had no idea whether or not they had a nickname, did you? Answer, no. Question, when did you first tell the police that it was all a joke? Answer, when you talked to me down here. Question, so when I met you when you came out from state prison, is that correct? Answer, yes. Miss Bushling, I have no further questions at this time. The court, anything further, Mr. Yamamoto? Mr. Yamamoto, yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination by Mr. Yamamoto. Question, do you remember if in that photograph of Eddie Walker that was within the six-pack whether Eddie Walker had long jerry curls? Answer, no, he didn't. It was like short. It wasn't really long. Question, that person, the one of your homeboys that was having problems with a person named Thumper, do you know his name? Answer, yes. Question, you wish to tell us what his name was? Answer, Sticks. Question by Mr. Yamamoto, do you know his real name? Answer, yes. Question, do you know what it is? Answer, Theodore Givens. Question, Theodore Givens? Answer, yes. Question, thank you. This concludes the testimony of Bobby Taylor. If you haven't already, please reach over and hit that subscribe button and give this a thumbs up, or if you don't like it, a thumbs down. But remember, people, this case is very significant not only to you, but many other people who may have been framed using these same techniques. And if these techniques were used so easily by the district attorney and the police department, there's no telling how many people in how many different states or towns that this has been used on other people. So get this out, share it with your friends, and let's work with this together. Assalamu alaikum.